Hello and welcome back, my lovely English learners. In today's English lesson, I will help you replace overused words in English. These English words are quite basic, and there's nothing wrong with using them, but they are quite overused in spoken and written English. These words are fine to use at the beginner English level, but if you want to advance your English and speak fluently, you must learn alternatives to these English words. I am Sarah, your English teacher. Hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss important English lessons like this one. Come on, let's get started. The first overused word is nice. When we like something, we generally say nice. Here are better alternatives to nice. Pleasant. The weather is really pleasant. Enjoyable. The concert I attended last evening was enjoyable. Lovely. Ria has a lovely personality. Delightful. We had a delightful evening at the beach. Aren't these better words to use instead of nice? Why don't you try making sentences with these alternative words? It will help you remember these words better. And I would love to read your sentences. Moving on to the next overused word, and that's important. I am sure you use this word quite often in your everyday conversations, right? You can replace important with crucial. The investor meeting is crucial for the startup. Vital. Regular exercise is vital for good health. Essential. Higher education is essential for career success. Key. He played a key role in the negotiation. There you have it, 4 better words to replace important. Now it's your turn to write sentences with these new words in the comments. Let's move on to the next word, similar, which means same. We can replace similar with alike. The twins look very much alike. Resembling. The painting was resembling the real landscape. Homogeneous. The students of this class possess homogeneous skills. Comparable. The 2 smartphones are comparable in their features. Wow, now you have 4 great words in replacement of similar. Up next is boring. Instead of boring, we can say dull. The lecture was dull and uninteresting. We can also use uninteresting to replace boring. Next is tedious. The task was tedious and time-consuming. Something that's boring and tiring is called tedious. Monotonous. His speech was monotonous and put everyone to sleep. Wearisome. I think that's a new word for you. The journey was long and wearisome. Something that causes you to be tired and bored is called wearisome. How would you like to learn English? Fast. Well, that's the next overused word. Instead of saying fast, you can say speedy. He is known for his speedy responses on the talk show. Rapid. India is seeing rapid growth in the gift city. Hasty. His hasty exit from the party was noticed by everyone. Nimble. The investor was nimble with his stocks, adjusting his portfolio to the changing market trends. Isn't it a great word? Nimble, which means a quick movement or an action. Up next in the list of overused words is interesting. Here are some better alternatives to interesting. Fascinating. The tech show was quite fascinating with the latest AI gadgets. Engaging. The new web series was engaging, and I binge-watched it all night. To binge-watch means to watch one episode after the other continuously. Intriguing. The mystery in the movie was quite intriguing. Captivating. Her speech was captivating and held everyone's attention. Well, with that, we move on to our next word, and that is easy. Something that is simple to do is easy, right? But instead, you could say effortless. He made the math equation look effortless. Straightforward. Using this smartphone is straightforward and user-friendly. Uncomplicated. The recipe she shared is uncomplicated and quick to make. Manageable. The workload today was heavy, but manageable. I am sure learning new English words in this way is pretty straightforward and effortless. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The next overused word on my list is serious. Instead, we can say severe. The consequences of your decision could be severe. Earnest. She was earnest in her efforts to help the poor. Stern. The new boss has a stern way of speaking. Solemn. His solemn expression conveyed the seriousness of the situation. So those are 4 great alternatives to serious. I hope you are writing your sentences in the comments using these new English words, because that's how you will remember these new words faster. Here's the next overused word, funny. I can replace funny with witty. Her witty remarks always made everyone laugh. Amusing. The play was amusing and enjoyable. Comical. The situation turned out to be quite comical. Hilarious. The movie was absolutely hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. With that, we move to the last word from today's lesson, and that is hard. Something that is difficult to achieve is hard. To make it sound less hard, we can say challenging. The puzzle was challenging, but she solved it. Arduous. Say it with me, arduous. The journey to the mountains was arduous and tiring. Tough. He had to make some tough decisions to save the company. Strenuous. The workout was strenuous and exhausting. This is the part 2 in this lesson series. Now, these English words are quite basic. There's nothing wrong with using them, but they are quite overused in spoken and written English. These words are fine to use at the beginner English level, but if you want to advance your English and speak fluently, you must learn alternatives to these English words. I am Sarah, your English teacher. Hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss important English lessons like this one. Come on, let's get started. The first overused word is really. Really is an adverb and is used to emphasize the truth and reality of a situation. It's used as an intensifier. Here are better alternatives to really. Genuinely. This project is genuinely important to me. Indeed. Did it indeed happen? I have my doubts. Utterly. She was utterly amazed by the size of the park. Profoundly. The web series profoundly changed my perspective on medical science. Aren't these better words to use instead of really? Why don't you try making sentences with these alternative words? It will help you remember better. I would love to read your sentences. Moving on to the next overused English word, and that is great. Tell me sincerely, how many times do you use this word? I am sure quite often when you find something outstanding or superior, but instead you can say, incredible. The magician's final trick was simply incredible. Phenomenal. The last over of the match was nothing short of phenomenal. First rate. The hotel offered first-rate service, making our stay unforgettable. Terrific. We had a terrific time in Singapore. There you have it. 4 better words to replace great. Isn't that great? Well, Now it's your turn to write sentences with these new words. Let's move on to the next word, awesome. Again, this word is quite overused and means something is outstanding, fantastic, or simply great. Here are 4 better words to replace awesome. Breathtaking. The view from the 70th floor was simply breathtaking. Extraordinary. Her ability to speak 6 languages fluently is extraordinary. Awe-inspiring. The whole movie was awe-inspiring. Words couldn't describe it. Brilliant. Her brilliant solution solved the problem that puzzled everyone else. Wow. You have 4 great words in replacement of awesome. Up next is happy. Quite a common word, isn't it? Let's look at some better words to replace it. Euphoric. She was euphoric when she topped the class. Elated. He was elated when he topped the entrance test for college admissions. Contented. The hikers felt contented once they reached their final point. Ecstatic. The team was feeling ecstatic after winning the championship. Aren't these better English words? They will help you increase your English fluency. Moving on to the next basic word, like. Now, like has many uses, but is mainly used to talk about your choices or preferences. Or, it is used when you find something good. Instead, you can say, cherish. He cherishes the time he spends with his family. Relish. I relish the challenge of solving complex puzzles. Covet. She coveted the opportunity to work with the renowned artist. Idolize. Young, aspiring founders often idolize successful entrepreneurs. Up next on my list is hate. Such a strong word. When you genuinely don't like something, you hate it. Let's see how we can replace it. You can say abhor. She abhors any kind of violence and always seeks peaceful solutions. Scorns. She scorns those who gossip and spread rumours about others. Despise. They despise the cruelty inflicted upon animals. Revile. The public reviled the politician for his controversial statements. Revile is a verb that means to criticise someone or something in a way that shows intense dislike or lack of respect. With that, we move on to the next word, think. I am sure you know what it means. Let's look at better alternatives to think. Ponder. He spent hours pondering over which college to attend. Contemplate. She was contemplating buying an SUV. Deliberate. I deliberated for days before getting into business. Muse. He mused over the possible options to finance his startup. Did you know any of these words earlier? Let me know in the comments. Know, that's our next word. To know means to be aware of something. Instead of know, you could say perceive. She began to perceive the truth behind their actions. Grasp. She finally grasped the significance of social media marketing. Fathom. I cannot fathom why he acted in such a manner. Discern. It's hard to discern what's going on in his mind. Wow, some lovely English words. You might wonder if people use these words. Let me tell you, yes. These are common words used by advanced English speakers, and they are beautiful English words, so why stick to basic and boring words? Our next word is beautiful. Something that gives pleasure to the eyes is beautiful. Instead, you can say exquisite. The craftsmanship of the jewellery was exquisite. Alluring. Her alluring smile won everyone's hearts. Radiant. Despite the long hours of travel, she looked radiant. Captivating. The romance in the movie was captivating and directed well. So, now you have 4 new words instead of beautiful. With that, we move on to the last word from today's lesson. Tired. We use the word tired to describe a feeling of needing rest or lacking energy, right? Instead, we can say jaded. Years of working in the same job had left him feeling jaded. Drained. He was too drained to think about anything else. Fatigued. Driving for 12 straight hours left him feeling fatigued. Exhausted. After running a marathon, she was completely exhausted. I hope you don't find learning English exhausting. I try to always bring you captivating content so that you don't abhor learning English. See, I just used 3 words we just learned: exhausting, captivating, and abhor. This is part 3 in this lesson series. As I explained in the previous lessons, these English words are quite basic. There's nothing wrong in using them, but they are quite overused in spoken and written English. These words are fine to use at the beginner or the intermediate English level. But if you want to advance your English and speak fluently, you must learn alternatives to these English words. The first overused word is generally. Generally is an adverb and is used to say that something happens often and something is widely true. Here are better alternatives to generally, predominantly. The population of the town is predominantly elderly, as a rule. As a rule, meetings are scheduled for Mondays. By and large. By and large, the feedback for the social media campaign has been positive. Broadly speaking. Broadly speaking, the new laws will benefit small businesses. Aren't these better words to use instead of generally? Why don't you try making sentences with these alternative words? It will help you remember better. I would love to read your sentences. Moving on to the next overused English word. That is perfect. Tell me honestly, how many times do you use this word? I am sure quite often, when we find something that is free from faults, we mostly say perfect. Here are better words to replace perfect. Impeccable. Her manners are impeccable, always polite and respectful. Pristine. The car is in pristine condition, with no scratches or dents. Unblemished. Her reputation remained unblemished despite the rumours. Exemplary. Her work is exemplary. It serves as a model for others to follow. There you have it. 4 better words to replace perfect. Isn't that great? Well, now it's your turn to write sentences with these new words. Let's move on to the next word, honestly. Again, this word is quite overused and is used to say that you are being truthful or straightforward and that you are not beating around the bush. Here are better words to replace honestly. Candidly. Candidly, I was disappointed with the results. Bluntly. Bluntly, that was a poor decision. Unequivocally. She unequivocally denied the allegations. Transparently. The company needs to act more transparently to regain trust. Wow, you have 4 great words in replacement of honestly. Moving on to the next basic word. Definitely. Now, definitely is mainly used to say something is certain or to confirm something without any doubt, right? Instead, you can say, unquestionably. He is unquestionably the fastest runner on the team. Inarguably. Inarguably, this is the most critical issue we face. Irrefutably. The data shows irrefutably that the campaign was successful. Assuredly. Assuredly, this startup plan will lead to success. All right, again, you have 4 new words added to your vocabulary bank. Up next is just. Quite a common word, isn't it? Just is used to lay emphasis while speaking. Let's look at some better words to replace it. Merely. She was merely stating the facts without any bias, solely. The responsibility lies solely with the team leader. Virtually. The room was virtually empty, with only one person sitting in the corner. Practically. The project is practically finished. We just need to confirm a few details. Aren't these better English words? They will help you increase your English fluency. Up next on my list is nice. Quite a basic word used in daily English conversations when you want to say that something is pleasant, good, or satisfactory. Let's see how we can replace it. You can say amiable. He has an amiable personality that makes him easy to talk to, appealing. The idea of a long weekend getaway is very appealing. Gracious. Her gracious response to the compliment made everyone smile. Exquisite. The craftsmanship of the jewellery was exquisite. With that, move on to the next word. Great. I am sure you know what it means. Let's look at better alternatives to great. Phenomenal. His quick recovery after the surgery was phenomenal. Stellar. Her report was stellar and provided all the necessary details. Tremendous. The support from the crowd in the concert was tremendous. Magnificent. The 360-degree view from the 70th floor of the building was magnificent. Did you know any of these words earlier? Let me know in the comments. Huge, that's our next word. Huge means something that is large in size, amount, or intensity. Something that is bigger than usual is huge. Instead of huge, you could say mammoth. The mammoth task took months of hard work to complete. Colossal. The film was a colossal success, breaking box office records worldwide. Immense. He felt an immense sense of relief after hearing the good news. Enormous. The new mall is enormous, covering several city blocks. Do you know any more words that can replace huge? Let me know in the comments. Up next on my list is quite. Quite is an adverb and is used to modify adjectives, verbs, or other adverbs. It is used to express the degree of something. It acts as an intensifier. But you can replace this basic and overused word with tangibly. The quality of the product has tangibly improved since the last version. Decidedly. The film was decidedly better than the previous sequel. Substantially. The costs have decreased substantially over the past few months. Profoundly. His words had a profoundly deep impact on everyone listening. Wow, lovely English words. You might wonder if people really use these words. Let me tell you, yes, these are common words, used by advanced English speakers. And they are beautiful English words, so why stick to basic and boring words? Our last overused word is basically. Basically is used to highlight the main points in a sentence by removing unnecessary details. It helps to simplify explanations. But there are some better words you can use instead. Simplistically. Simplistically put, the economy needs consumers to spend more. At its core. At its core, the movie explores themes of love and loss. Inherently, the new accounting software is user-friendly. Intrinsically, the startup will disrupt the traditional way of shopping. This is the fourth lesson in this series. As I mentioned before, these English words are pretty basic. There's nothing wrong with using them, but they are used a lot in both spoken and written English. These words are okay for beginners or intermediate learners. But if you aim to improve your English and speak more fluently, it's essential to learn different words to use in their place. I'm Sarah, your English teacher. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, so you won't miss more useful English lessons like this one. Let's get started. The first basic and overused word is cool. The word cool is often used in English to describe something that is very good, fashionable, or interesting. It suggests that something is trendy, but it's quite overused. Here are better alternatives to cool. Sleek. The new smartphone model has a sleek design that makes it very attractive. Edgy. The store's latest fashion collection is quite edgy. Captivating. The plot of the movie is captivating and keeps the audience engaged. Chic. It's pronounced as chic. We don't say cheek, it's chic. Her Instagram is filled with photos of chic outfits. So, those were 4 great words to replace cool. Why don't you try making sentences with these new English words and put them down in the comments? It will give you good practice and help you remember these words better. Moving on to the next overused word, absolutely. Absolutely is used to express complete agreement or to confirm something without any doubt. It is used to say something is completely true or certain. Here are better alternatives to absolutely. Unquestionably. Unquestionably, she is the best choice for the team leader position. Indisputably. His talent is indisputably remarkable. Categorically. He categorically refused to reconsider the proposal, stating it was final. Irrefutably. The data irrefutably supports the theory that AI will surpass the human brain. What do you think? Will AI replace the human brain? Let me know in the comments. Aren't these better words to replace absolutely? Try making sentences with them. With that, we move on to another overused word, always. The word always is used to describe something that happens every time or all the time, without any exception. It means that something is continuous or constant. Don't you think always is used always? Well, here are some advanced alternatives. Consistently. She consistently arrives at work at least half an hour early. Invariably. He invariably forgets to close the windows before leaving. Eternally. She is eternally grateful for the help she received during tough times. Habitually. She habitually checks her email first thing in the morning. Now, all these alternatives are used to say that there is no break or change in doing something. They all mean the same as always. Up next on my list is never. I am sure you know what it means. The word never is used to say that something does not happen at any time or under any circumstances. Right? Here are other ways to say never. Not once did he question the decision of the committee. By no means. He is by no means unqualified for the position. In fact, he's quite experienced. On no occasion have we compromised our standards. Not in any way. This decision is not in any way influenced by personal bias. All right, here's the next overused word in English. Maybe. When we are not sure about something, we say maybe. Let's see how we can replace this overused basic English word. You can say, potentially. This plan could potentially increase our profits by 20%. Conceivably. Conceivably, we could finish the project ahead of schedule. Arguably. Arguably, this is the best method to tackle the current challenge. Presumably. Presumably, he will accept the job offer, even if the pay is low. There you have it. 4 better words to say. Maybe, isn't it a great way to enrich your vocabulary bank and advance your English level? I am sure it is. Up next is fine. Now, the word fine has several meanings in English, but when describing something, it generally means that it is good enough, satisfactory, or acceptable. Here are better words to replace fine. Adequate. Her performance was adequate, though not outstanding. Passable. The script for the play was only passable, needing further refinement. Decent. The accommodations were decent enough for a short stay. Satisfactory. The project results were satisfactory, meeting all our basic requirements. We looked at 4 great alternatives to replace fine. Now, let's look at how we can replace sure with better English words. When someone says they are sure about something, it means they are confident about it and have no doubt. Here's how you can use better words. Assuredly. Assuredly, the 21st century is about accelerated computing. Unwavering. Her unwavering commitment to excellence inspires everyone on the team. Irrefutable. The evidence presented was irrefutable for the judge to pronounce a verdict. Resolute. He was resolute in his decision to turn down the lucrative job offer. Well, we are looking at different words to replace sure. I used the word different. Can we replace different with better alternative words? Yes, we surely can. Now, the word different is used to describe something that is not the same as another thing, right? I am sure you know it, but instead you can say diverse. The festival celebrates the diverse cultures of the community. Unconventional. His approach to solving problems is unconventional, but highly effective. Disparate. The study highlighted the disparate impacts of artificial intelligence on the job market. Dissimilar. Their opinions on the matter were dissimilar, leading to a heated debate. So far, we have replaced 8 basic words with their advanced alternatives, and I hope you are making sentences with these new English words. Moving on to the next basic word, strong. We use the word strong to say something has a lot of power, force, or a high level of intensity. Here are stronger alternatives to the word strong. Robust. The robust coffee had a rich, bold flavour that was immediately noticeable. Potent. The medication is quite potent, so only a small dose is necessary. Sturdy. The sturdy construction of the building ensured it withstood the storm. Formidable. The team's defence was formidable, rarely allowing opponents to score runs. Don't you think with these alternatives, you are building a robust English vocabulary that will help you shine in every conversation? With that, we move to the last word from today's lesson, and that is little. When we want to describe a small amount or size of something, we use the word little, isn't it? Instead of saying little, you can say minimal. The design is sleek with minimal decoration, minuscule. The amount of errors in the report was minuscule, trivial. The discrepancies in the data were considered trivial and not significant. Marginal. There was only a marginal improvement in his health after the surgery. Well, that's all for today. We replaced 10 basic English words with 40 new English words. I am sure this lesson will indisputably help you build a robust English vocabulary, and if you use all these words habitually, you will by no means run out of words while speaking English. Try making sentences with these new words. It's the best way to remember these advanced English words. I will see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep learning and keep practicing English.